Good morning, everybody. I'm Joanna Chen. My pronouns are she, they, and I'll be your MC today to celebrate Pride Month. Thank you so much for joining us to stand with and uplift the LGBTQIA+ community. I owe so much to this community that has taught me about collective care, the fearless pursuit of authenticity, and vibrancy in the face of atrocities. I want to start by affirming that trans and non-binary people have always existed. In fact, they've been celebrated and respected in ancient and modern civilizations across the globe. That's why it is our responsibility to ensure that trans and non-binary voices, especially BIPOC, trans and non-binary voices and experiences, remain at the forefront. That's why I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for joining us today, for being out, loud, and proud this Pride. Thank you to our friends who are joining us online, as well as our friends in person, for your courage to be you, and for coming to take a stand to protect the LGBTQIA+ right to exist, to feel welcome, and truly thrive. That's why I'm excited to officially kick off Pride Month in Howard County. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce a man who needs no introduction and who brought us all together today, County Executive Calvin Ball.
Thank you very much, Joanna, and thank you all for being here. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Thank you to the many community members and partners who have joined us this morning to officially kick off Pride Month in Howard County. Howard County is a place where we don't just tolerate diversity and inclusion, but we celebrate it. And that's why I'm proud to live in a community that supports, uplifts, includes, and celebrates our LGBTQIA+ neighbors and visitors. Pride Month is a time to celebrate, and it's also a time to reflect on the important progress that we've made. In 2019, we were proud to host Howard County's very first Pride Festival. In the years that have followed, we've continued our work to make our community even more welcoming and a safer place for all. Following the success of Pride Festival, I was thrilled to put together our county's first LGBTQ+ work group in 2019. This dedicated work group of community leaders worked tirelessly to ensure Howard County remains a place where inclusivity is on the forefront. Last year, following the work group's recommendation, we passed legislation with our county council to permanently create an LGBTQIA+ commission in Howard County. This commission is continuing the much-needed work of equity, inclusion, communication, understanding, and respect for all gender and sexual identities. The commission is also advancing policy and systemic change for all persons who identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, queer, non-binary, and other identities within the LGBTQIA+ community. I want to take a moment to thank our commission members for their service, passion, and commitment to making our county more welcoming and inclusive for all. We know that progress is never guaranteed. Progress takes hard work and dedication, and we must diligently protect the rights that we fought so hard to secure, not just overall, but for all. As we celebrate Pride Month in June here in Howard County, we also recommit ourselves to supporting the LGBTQIA+ neighbors by standing up against hate, standing up against discrimination, standing up against marginalization of people in all forms. Together, we will continue to stand in solidarity and support our entire community. In just a few minutes, we'll raise the pride flag on the Howard County flagpole. This will be the first time the pride flag has ever been risen here at the seat of county government. This symbolic action reflects the county's commitment to supporting, celebrating, and standing with all LGBTQIA+ individuals in Howard County, affirming that they are vital, welcomed, and celebrated as part of our community. Later this month, we'll be lighting the building rainbow in celebration of Howard County Public School System's first ever Pride Prom, which is open to all high school students in our school system. In lighting the building rainbow, we affirm that every member of the LGBTQIA+ community, including our students, should feel safe to be who they are and live authentically. In recognition of Pride Month and our vibrant LGBTQIA+ community, I have an executive proclamation, and it reads: whereas celebrated each June, Pride Month honors the 1969 Stonewall riots, when patrons and supporters of the Stonewall Inn in New York City staged an uprising to resist the harassment, persecution, and discrimination against the LGBTQIA+ Americans, and whereas this month-long celebration provides us with the opportunity to recognize the powerful and meaningful impact of our LGBTQIA+ community members and individuals that they have on this country's history, and how our LGBTQIA+ community has strengthened our nation with their talent, love, and creativity to generate and spread awareness and goodwill. And whereas Howard County government proudly joins the LGBTQIA+ Commission, HOCO Pride, and our community partners to recognize the contributions and positive impact this diverse, vibrant community has brought to Howard County. Together, we will raise the rainbow flag, which symbolizes life, healing, sunlight, nature, serenity, spirit, and represents all who identify with the LGBTQIA+ community. Now, therefore, I, Calvin Ball, County Executive of Howard County, Maryland, do hereby proclaim June 2023 Pride Month in Howard County.
Good morning. I cannot begin to tell you how excited I am to be here and that this is happening here in my hometown in the county I grew up in. When I was raised here, there was no Pride Prom. There was no raising of the Pride flag. It was really more like something that nobody wanted to talk about, that you really didn't feel like. If you didn't feel aligned with the context around you, then it was a very tough time because there weren't conversations, there weren't events at the library, there wasn't anyone in the school you could talk to. There was no prom, like I said, and there really was no celebration of our identity. There's a woman here wearing a shirt that I really appreciate. It says "Created Equal." And that's really what this is all about. It's about people who are brave enough to be ourselves, because let's be clear, it takes bravery to be out. It takes bravery to say that this is who I am, especially in this time when queer and trans people are being targeted by the government. The 1980s AIDS epidemic was not that long ago, and we have lost so many members of our community because of that government inaction. And that's why it's so important that we take these proactive actions, that we actively affirm our community. And I thank everybody here who is an ally or a member of the community, because your being here and standing here today says so much about who you are and who our community is. And I cannot begin to express how personally and professionally grateful I am for your support. Days like this are so important. So thank you to County Executive Ball. Thank you to all our speakers. Thank you to Joanna for organizing this. And thank you to everyone who is here as their full, authentic self. I look forward to connecting with you.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to be here with everyone. I was walking in and I said to my friend Delegate Natalie Ziegler, it never rains on Pride. And the haters think that God is on their side. I'm not so sure. I'm proud to be here as your Register of Wills and also as Howard County's first and only openly LGBTQ elected official. We have a lot to celebrate this Pride Month, and it's hard to know where to begin. I appreciate the words of my friend Christiana Rigby. I'm also a Howard County native, and my experience growing up here, while I lived in a very loving home, and I had parents who loved me and siblings who loved me and family who loved me and neighbors who loved me. My experience growing up here was the only gay person I knew was the one out kid in my school who was bullied relentlessly. He was beat up. Teachers turned a blind eye. Sometimes teachers laughed at the jokes that were made of him. And I think we've come a long way. We have a lot to celebrate, though, and I think that's a big part of Pride. As both the county executive and council chair said, we've come a long way in legal equality. We have marriage equality in Maryland. I'm still single, by the way, so if anyone, if you want to read my official bio / dating profile, registers.maryland.gov. I'm taking my time, okay? So, but we have marriage equality, we have protections, non-discrimination protections, and this year the governor signed into law the Trans Health Equity Act that every legislator here voted for. Thank you. To expand access to gender-affirming health care for trans children. We are making a lot of progress, but we know we have more work to do. We've made so much progress culturally. When I was a kid, when I was thinking about people in our culture who I could look up to as an openly gay person, there was Barney Frank, the congressman from Massachusetts, and Ellen DeGeneres, and that was pretty much it. Now you can't watch a movie or turn on a TV show without seeing someone who looks like us, sounds like us, loves like us, identifies like us, and is telling our stories, and that's important too. And the progress we've made in terms of representation with people in our community and government. When I was elected in 2010, there were just over 500 openly LGBTQ+ elected officials in America. Today there are over 1,000, and our community's goal is to reach 2,000 by 2030. And we've made the largest gains, by the way, in elected representation by non-binary, trans people, and by people of color across America. So we have more work to do, but we have come so far to make sure that we have a seat at the table. As the county executive said, we now have a permanent LGBTQIA+ commission in Howard County to make sure, and I want to thank all the commissioners here and the council and the county executive for establishing this commission to make sure that our community always has a seat at the table, that we always have a voice in policy being made here in this county. That is absolutely essential. We do know that there's more work to be done. While we are safe in Maryland in a lot of ways, we know after the overturning of Roe v. Wade last year by the Supreme Court that it's open season on anyone who identifies as any kind of other. Marriage rights are not safe outside of Maryland, and we've got a lot of work to do to protect the targets du jour, I'd say, of the haters, which is trans people and especially trans children, which is especially cruel, and we're seeing that all over the country. Not here in Maryland, though. We're making progress in Maryland while other places are going backwards. So to me, Pride is about celebrating who we are, living lives of authenticity and truth, celebrating our accomplishments, and a commitment to keep up the fight, because there's more work to be done. But we're here today to raise this Pride flag, and as Councilmember Rigby said, I'm just as she is. I'm a native Howard Countyan, and this isn't just this is not just a photo op. This is not just symbolic. This is meaningful, because as other jurisdictions in Maryland and places all over the country are banning books, they're banning even discussing who we are. There are teachers in Florida right now who are being investigated by the state just for talking about same-sex relationships. We're not doing that here in Howard County. We're not doing that in Maryland. We're moving in the opposite direction. And by raising this flag, what we are saying loud and clear to people all over our community, to people all over our state, to people all over our country, is that you are welcome here. That is what this flag means. And again, as a native of this county, and as someone who was blessed to have a loving family and support in this community to elect me as the first openly gay person in this county, this is really significant and really meaningful. And I want to thank the county executive and thank all of my partners in government and all of you in the community who are here together to stand in solidarity to say, hate has no home here, love wins, and anyone, however you identify, however you love, whoever you are welcome here in Howard County. Thank you.
Good morning. Come on, give it to me. Good morning. This is a beautiful morning to be out celebrating the kickoff of Pride Month in Howard County. I must say, on behalf of Governor Wes Moore, this is an exciting day in Maryland. I'm not going to repeat what you heard from Byron McFarland, who I got to know on the campaign trail back in 2009 and in his election in 2010. And so many of you. I came here 50 years ago as a student at Wild Lake High School when our LGBTQIA friends were othered, and I've got to say, I was a part of that. But I have grown. I am so grateful for the relationships that I have nurtured. I have grown in my understanding that we are all human beings. We all deserve to be treated for our personal choices. I'm not here to condemn anyone, but to love everyone. I'm grateful for our county executive making this day a marker in Howard County, because just as Maryland is going to lead the nation in how we treat and love people and respect people, Howard County, for me, for the last 50 years, has been that marker that positioned me to serve the governor in this role. I'm really excited about partnering with all of you. Know that you have a friend in the Governor's Office of Community Initiatives, and you have a friend in Governor Wes Moore. We will continue to fight for the rights of all human beings, especially those who are marginalized in our LGBTQIA plus communities. We are here for everyone, to leave no Marylander behind. Thank you very much for coming out and support this morning. And now I will turn the microphone over to the Administrative Director for the Governor's Office of Community Initiatives, LGBTQIA plus Affairs Commission, Mr. Jeremy Browning.
Wow, thank you so much for having me here today, and thank you, County Executive and all the leaders here for putting this event together and raising the flag, having the courage to do it against all the opposition that we're facing in the community. So, Pride Month, we celebrate our progress. We celebrate all the progress that we made, but we also reflect on the work that remains. I was thinking about it in the car on the way here, and I got a little bit emotional because the flag is so important to so many people, and it was important to me. I was one of those kids that grew up in school and didn't know anybody, had no support, didn't have one person to talk to, and seeing the flag equaled safety. It equaled that I belonged. And without, that flag and Pride Month, I don't know if I would be here today. So it's especially meaningful for me. And I was, a little teared up driving here to think, wow, how far we've come here in Maryland. And I'm so proud to see the flag flying. Every time I see it, it brings me joy. We have a lot to celebrate, though. So this year, we passed the Trans Health Equity Act, which was already mentioned. We also passed the alterations to the commission, which expand the membership from 15 to 21 members, and it changes the name to the Maryland Commission on LGBTQIA plus Affairs. That legislation will make the commission more inclusive and more representative of our diverse LGBTQIA plus community in Maryland. Both of those were signed by Governor Wes Moore. Lastly, I want to thank all the brave allies for being here. It's not always comfortable being an ally. You have to go against the opposition, and it's strong right now. So thank you all for having the courage to show up It really means a lot to me. It warms my heart. I'm going to try not to cry. But I'm so grateful for all of you, and I'm so privileged and honored to be part of an administration that is supportive. So thank you so much.
You know, as the first chairperson of the Howard County LGBTQIA+ Commission, I am honored to represent my community and fellow commissioners. Pride Month is a time of both celebration and protest. We celebrate who we are, regardless of oppression, hate, and violence levied against us. It's important to remember that Pride is a protest. It was started with bricks and balled-up fists. Each generation has continued to push forward. We sacrifice our comfort and privacy by choosing to live openly. We do this at any cost. Even our lives are on the line. We do this to provide a better world for our people and for the future generations. Today marks a joyous time, however, and we plan to celebrate to our heart's content at the many Pride parades and festivals set to take place. We will remain steadfast in our mission to better the livelihoods of LGBTQIA+ persons, families, and allies that call Howard County home. We are aware of evils lurking in this world, hidden in plain sight amidst community members who do not know how to love unconditionally or simply remain ignorant to any way of life besides their own. But this is the purest form of pride. Knowing this and still shining bright as the colors of the rainbow courageously fly high in the sky. We do this when we sing, dance, write, go to school, succeed in life, and simply be ourselves, overtly. As we celebrate the commencement of Pride Month, let us not forget our roots, the struggles we have overcome, the struggles we are still surmounting. While the fight for equity rages on, let's use this time to recharge and invigorate ourselves. Do what makes you happiest. Sing, dance, paint, draw, write. Do what you love and do it brightly, loudly, and most importantly, proudly. With that, I wish you a happy Pride Month, Howard County.
Thank you, County Executive Calvin Ball, the County Council, and all the elected officials and friends that are here with us today. I'm speaking on behalf of our fearless chairs, Chris Hefty, who serves in dual roles, and Alicia Trinetti, who cannot be here today. It's such a privilege being here for the first day of Pride and this flag-raising ceremony. I felt like it was an opportunity to talk a little bit about the flag and what it means. The original Pride Gilbert flag was the rainbow flag, and each one of those colors represented something of importance to the LGBT community. Over the years, there have been 15 different variations of this flag, and the one that we are going to be lifting up today is the one that demonstrates an emphasis on inclusion and progress. Just like this flag has transformed over time to be more inclusive and demonstrate progress, so has Howard County. HOCO Pride's purpose is to encourage, educate, advocate, support, promote, and enhance the quality of life for LGBTQIA+ community members. While most of our work is preparing for our October event at Symphony Woods, HOCO Pride, we also support and organize programs throughout the year. Our theme this year is Our Time to Thrive. We know that when we thrive, we build partners and find ways to build community connections and to really reach out to our community. In preparation for HOCO Pride, we have a series of events, especially this month, and we hope that you will go on our website and look about different ways that you can get involved. This year, we're having our first annual design contest for our K through 12 students. We're partnering with the school system and the library in doing this, and we're hoping that we can choose our logo and be able to unveil that at the end of June. I think about what County Executive Calvin Ball said. And I love the fact that I get to live in Howard County in a place where we model what it means to be inclusive. It's not far away because we share a border with a county where in their school system, they can't bring a pride flag into their classroom. And yet we're raising one in our Howard County building. Right across the bridge in Queen Anne's County, teachers can't choose books to put in their classrooms because they can't be trusted to make good decisions. In addition to that, they're also expected to police the books that students are bringing into class just in case they might bring something that is on their banned book list. As an educator, it's things like that that bother me about not making us an inclusive place for our students. And I love the fact that in Howard County, we can model that, not just for those two counties, but for our nation. We look forward to working with our leaders and partners to ensure that Howard County continues to be a safe and welcoming and inclusive environment for all. As I mentioned about the original flag, it was inspired by the song Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz. And it makes me think of a quote from the song, one of the lyrics, "And the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true." Many people within the community here have dreams, and it's communities like Howard County that make them come true. Remember our theme this year, it's our time to thrive. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause to our incredible speakers. As we celebrate Pride this month, I invite you to participate in many upcoming events and celebrations that are taking place all across our county. This weekend, visit Old Ellicott City for the return of OEC Pride on June 3rd and 4th. Join the mascara run, explore the art fair, and enjoy drag story hour, live music, and much more at OEC Pride. Later this month, on June 10th, as we mentioned before, the Howard County Public School System invites HCPSS high school students to attend the inaugural Pride Prom at the Harriet Tubman Cultural Center. All throughout the month, at your local library, visit over 25 events that celebrate Pride, the community, and culture. And of course, as Abby mentioned, I encourage everyone to join HOCO Pride for the return of the annual Pride Festival, which will be hosted later this year in October during Pride History Month. And with that, please join me at the flag raising pole.